Okay, guys, I am Trish with Unique Me 303 Healing and Empowerment. I am going to be going live to do some paid and free readings. Hopefully you guys can see me okay. I feel like everything's kind of messed up right now, but hopefully you'll be able to see me okay. It looks like it's moving around a little bit. I apologize. I'm trying to get it right. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it okay. Let me know if you can hear me and if everything looks okay. Let's see. I'm going to put the links in the comments real quick. It wouldn't let me comment using my phone, so I had to come to this. I'm hoping you guys are going to be able to see me okay. Oh, I was trying to... Let me see if it'll let me add that to it. Okay, let's see. Hello, Jennifer. I see you. Can you guys hear me okay or see me okay? It looks a little bit fuzzy on my end. I'm hoping it's not fuzzy on your end. Let's see. Just putting the links down real quick for you guys. Okay, guys, I think I got you on here now. All right, so far, guys, I have Stacy, Rhonda, Margaret, Jennifer, Mary Ann. If there's anybody else that's wanting a reading, please put your name into the comments. If you're paying for one of the paid readings, make sure that you're making that payment and coming back and tell me how much you paid for so that I know how many cards to give you. I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling while I'm waiting on more people to come in. I'm getting a little bit hot, so I might end up having to get up and get something for my hair. Okay, I do have Jennifer. I do have Mary Ann. So far, guys, I have Stacy, Rhonda, Margaret, Jennifer, Mary Ann. If you're wanting a reading, please put your name into the comments. If you're paying for a reading, please make that payment, come back and tell me how many cards that you paid for so I can give you the right amount of cards. Again, I got Stacy, Rhonda, Margaret, Jennifer, and Mary Ann. Source God, higher self, angels, ascended masters, I ask that you be with me today as I do these readings. I ask that they be accurate messages of love, inspiration, and guidance. Whatever is meant to come through, I ask that it comes through clearly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, I'm just waiting for more people to join. Again, I have Stacy, Rhonda, Margaret, Jennifer, and Mary. If you're wanting a reading, please put your name into the comments. If you're paying for a paid reading, please make that payment and come back, tell me how many cards you paid for. I am doing well. Thank you, Jennifer. I hope you're doing well as well. We'll get started in just a few minutes, guys. I'm just waiting for some more people to join while I'm shuffling these cards. I do have Stacy, Rhonda, Margaret, Jennifer, and Mary Ann on here. Guys, let me know if I sound like I'm cutting out or anything like that. I don't know if there would be anything that I can do. However, if you guys can let me know that, please. All right, guys, I am going to do popsicle sticks tonight for you guys. We do have 2 cards are free, 4 for $5 or 9 for $20. Make sure if you're making a payment for one of the paid readings that you're making that payment and then coming back and telling me how many cards that you paid for so that I can give you the right amount of cards. I'm going to go ahead and get started with Stacy. I have Stacy, Rhonda, Margaret, Jennifer, and Mary on the list. If there's anybody else that's wanting a reading, please put your name into the comments. Again, if you're paying for a reading, make sure that you're making that payment for a reading, then coming back and tell me how many cards that you paid for. The links for Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal are all pinned in the comments. So if you need those links, make sure that you're getting those. All right, guys, starting with Stacy. Which cards do I start out with, Stacy, please? Thank you. Stacy, this reading is going to be for you, hon. I do kind of want to scoot this over a little bit so I can see you guys a little bit better. Okay, Stacy, this is for you, hon. What messages do you have for Stacy, please, in love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Stacy? Am I supposed to continue with these cards? Okay, there's something that is changing for the better. There's some sort of situation or maybe a project that you've been putting time and energy into, and maybe you felt like you was a little bit behind, or maybe something just wasn't panning out the exact way that you wanted to, but now you can have some sort of peace in knowing that something is going to be worth celebrating very, very soon. Am I supposed to take all of these? This could have something to do with money matters. You may feel like you've lost a little bit of money, or maybe you don't have the upper hand when it comes to money matters. However, these cards are both stating that something is getting ready to change. If you feel like you don't have the upper hand in a situation, this is the message telling you that you do. Not all has been lost. You do have some things to still look forward to. You do have the Devil, which tells me that there's some sort of barriers that are coming down, some sort of chains that are being broken. There may be an energy of feeling held back again. However, I feel like something is coming together. Something that has been binding you in one way, shape, or form is starting to let loose in some way. It may be because of a relationship coming back together or either splitting up. I kind of feel like it could be a little bit of both. So if you've had a relationship that you've been like back in contact with, and now you feel like something is changing in that aspect, it may go back and forth a couple more times before something actually stays together. However, the fourth card that came out is the Two of Cups, which tells me that there is some sort of reunion. This reunion is going to give you a peace of mind. There's something that's coming together because of healing that has taken place. This could be on one or both parties side, but I do feel like some sort of healing has taken place. I do feel like there's a lack of confidence coming from one or both of you. I feel like it's more coming from the masculine side of things, and it may just be that they feel like they don't have enough to bring to the table, or it could just be that whatever they do have to bring to the table, they feel like it needs to be more stable. And I'm getting a yes with that. So whatever it is, they feel like they need to be more stable in something. And I'm hearing yes, yes, yes. Now, it could just be that you need to be more stable with who you are, or where you want to be in life. And that may be what brings this back together, or together for what am I trying to say? Some sort of finality, like it doesn't have to go away again, is what I'm trying to say. It's going to come back and stay. This could be talking about a couple different things, because I do feel like you're in a cycle where things that you feel like you didn't have much hold on are coming back, and they're going to show you why you don't have a hold on them, or what you can do to have a hold on them, or if there's some sort of energy of needing to let go. So you could be going through a lot of letting go, letting God type of situations, especially when it comes to romance and finance, is what I'm hearing. Which cards do I go to? Thank you. Hi, Sandra. How you doing, honey? Thank you. You'll be number 6. What other messages do you have for Stacy, please? In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Stacy. In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please. You're welcome, honey. Yeah, so the situation when it comes to this romantic partner, something that keeps coming and going, or either there's been some sort of push and pull or give and take or what have you, is asking you to be willing to forgive the past and not move forward with whatever it is that you were holding on to or maybe holding on to now. If there's some sort of pain that comes from this connection from the past, Spirit is asking you not to let it go into what you guys are making new. Remember, things have healed, people have changed. One or both parties have worked hard on some sort of change that goes along with this, and you can expect some sort of exchange of happiness or peacefulness or something of that sort. Do I continue with these cards? Which cards do I go to? Thank you. What other messages do you have for Stacy, please? In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Stacy. Am I supposed to continue with these? There's going to be some things that need to be talked about, especially when it comes to a relationship. There may be things that have to do with like being complete opposites or having different viewpoints in a situation. I do feel like there's going to be some sort of need for compromise or negotiating some sort of boundaries or terms with someone. And it may be that you have a certain way that you want your life to be. And if they aren't going to, be on board with that there has to be some sort of boundary, but there's definitely something that you need to talk about and need to negotiate or come to some sort of agreement. Do I continue with these cards? Yes or no? I seen yes and no. Do I continue with this card? Yes or no? Thank you. Which cards do I go to, please? Thank you. What other messages do you have, please, for Stacy? In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Stacy. In love, romance, finance. Thank you. I am going to put a timestamp in here. When I am done and I share these, I will definitely timestamp them. So the next message that came out is all about your instincts and really trusting your instincts. There's something about your discernment of spirit being right on. So, that gut feeling that you get when it says you should or shouldn't do this, or you should or shouldn't do that. This is the instincts that I'm talking about. There's something about being very sharp with them, being very connected with your instincts, and that the truth of the matter is going to come out through the way that you feel, that discernment of spirit, your intuition being spot on or whatever it may be. So go with the flow at this time is going to be very beneficial. Not these cards. Which cards do I go to, please? Show me that again. Thank you. What other messages do you have, please, for Stacy? In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Stacy. In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Stacy. Love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Stacy. Okay, so you're going to feel a push and pull from the universe. You may even feel like there's a tower moment that's been happening, and it may even feel like it's a slow blow type of tower moment. And what I mean by that is you could feel like you're getting bits and pieces of tower moments, but it's not so full blown on that you can't handle it, that it's taking your emotions and, just turning them upside down or what have you. And you may feel these small breakthrough moments where something wasn't going quite so well at one moment, but all of a sudden there's some sort of breakthrough that happens, whether it be with your finances or this relationship that you're currently in or either getting ready to go back to. One of the things I do see is that going with the flow and being in the moment is what's going to present you in the right light and like a truthful type of light. So remember that discernment of spirit, your intuition that's guiding you at this time is something that is worth listening to. I do feel like these breakthrough moments and these tower moments are coming in bits and pieces. So you may have small breakthroughs and then all of a sudden just this really, really big breakthrough. That's exactly the way that you're supposed to get things is what I'm hearing. There's some sort of commitment that's going to be made in the very near future. This is with some sort of partnership. So it could be referring to this relationship and going back to it. You will find that things are better than they were before. And you will find that things have disappeared that maybe you didn't like, or it was just displeasing to you about this relationship. And is also a card of financial success. There may be some sort of business endeavor that you partner up with somebody, or maybe you just decide this is what I need to do. But just know that there is going to be some sort of changes financially, and they are going to be for the better. Your popsicle stick says, I am clairvoyant. This is connecting you with premonitions, things that are to come. You could be getting these through your discernment of spirit, through intuition, just internal knowings, maybe having some sort of visions of things that are yet to come. Either way it goes, know that you are profoundly clairvoyant, and this is something that you should really pay attention to as you're going through these changes in the next few weeks. I hope that you got something out of your reading. Stacey, much love to you. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Rhonda, this next reading is going to be for you. Then I have Margaret, Jennifer, Mary Ann, and Sandra. If you're wanting put on the list, please put your name into the comments. If you are paying for a paid reading, make that payment and then come back and tell me how many cards that you paid for so that I can put you in for the right amount of cards. All right, let me get these picked up and we'll move on to Rhonda. Okay, Rhonda, let's see at 1740. Okay, Rhonda, this message is going to be for you. Which cards do I go to for Rhonda, please? Thank you. What messages do you have for Rhonda, please? In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Rhonda. In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Rhonda. Love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please. Give me 2 more shuffles for Rhonda. Love, romance, finance, ascension messages. Thank you. How many cards? So there's something that you need to declutter. This could be your mind. This could be your home. This could be your car. It could be multiple things. But there's this energy of feeling a little bit stagnant or maybe not moving forward because something needs to be cleared out. I do feel like a lot of this has to do with the thought process and the way that you are choosing to go about some sort of change or something like that. Either way it goes, I do feel like you're in this energy of becoming more connected with your ancestors, the ancient ways of doing medicine, and just like supernatural type of experiences. I think that there is much to be seen from the unseen. And what I mean by this is there's something about connections that you have that maybe you're feeling them, you're sensing them, you're not seeing them. And this could be with your mind's eye. This could be with your actual physical sight, not seeing them. Either way it goes, I do feel like this is a time of you becoming very in tune with the things that are unseen. And this could be in multiple ways. This could be through your intuition, through your deep inner knowings, through some sort of sense of like an internal voice that is connecting with you. Maybe it's through the Holy Spirit, signs and synchronicities that are happening, some sort of supernatural experiences. And I really feel like these supernatural experiences are like a lot, like not something that's happening few and far between, but something that is increasing in the amount of times that they happen. One of the things that you're being asked to do is return to your original temple. This could be that you're going back to the original state of being, or maybe there's something about you that needs to return. This is a goddess card. This is the return of Aphrodite, which means that this is about also seeing your beauty and letting others see the beauty in you. This is also a message of being guided into something, again, that is unseen, being guided to something that is meant for you. However, you might not have all of the ins and outs of how it's going to work or what you need to do to put time and energy into it. However, it's something that's going to bring you to this sense of being, like this sense of I am at home. This is where I belong. This is what I'm meant to do. This is who I'm meant to be type of energy. And this is like bringing you back into like this goddess energy, this energy of I've got this. I'm powerful. I'm strong. There's nothing that's going to keep me from this, whatever this is. And I feel like whatever it's talking about is something that has to do with these connections. It's like the first three cards here are very strongly speaking about connection and how deep these connections are, especially with the etheric. There's things that you are learning at this time through experiences that you're going through. And I feel like it's during alone time, when you are in the midst of meditating and praying, connecting with crystals and things like that, where spirit is really showing you the full strength of the power that you have as a goddess, as a woman, as somebody who is a child of God. There's something about returning to your original state. And I don't know exactly what this means. I feel a little bit confused on what it's trying to say, but getting back to your original state keeps coming to me. So you may know exactly what this is referring to, but let's see what else comes out in the reading. What other messages do you have for Rhonda, please, in love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please? Am I supposed to take this? Getting connected with water is going to be very beneficial at this time, especially when it comes to connecting with water for things that have to do with the throat chakra. There may be some sort of cleanse that you need to do. Also connecting with water, there also may need to be some pulling down of energies, putting your feet into like an Epsom salt bath, or maybe into the ocean, a creek, a pond, a lake, whatever it may be, just connecting with water from the tap and putting your energy into it and telling it thank you for the healing and the release that it's bringing you. And then it's going to pull something down through your feet. This is something that they're asking you to make sure that you definitely do. This is something that is definitely needed. I almost feel like it's a clearing of some sort of old cycle or some cycle that just ended. It's almost like bringing it fully out and into the open so that it can clear. And I'm hearing yes, yes, yes on that. So that's exactly right with what I'm saying. What other messages do you have for Rhonda, please, in love, romance, finance, ascension messages? Thank you. You do have the ruby, which is talking about putting your passion into some sort of area of your life. This is into an area of your life that makes you happy. It could be something about clearing out energy again, because it's right underneath the crane bag, which is talking about decluttering of the home, the mind, of choices that you may have. It may just be that you're thinking about too many projects at once, or have too many questions in your head at once that's not getting answered. So just bring it back to like one question, or maybe two questions or thoughts that you may have in your head. But when it comes to the ruby, it's all about connection with the root and sacral chakra. And I feel like it's about setting some sort of firm roots or firm foundations in something that you're doing. And I feel like the home keeps coming up to me big time. It's almost like making room for something new, clearing out the old and bringing in the new energy. And this just could be that, maybe you need to get rid of some of your crystals and bring in new. It could be that you need to buy new furniture and get rid of the old. It could just mean that you need to arrange things in a way in which energy flows more fluently. And I'm hearing yes with all of those things. So it's all of these things kind of combined into one thing. The sacral chakra, I really feel like it has a lot to do with your confidence and or the lack thereof. If there isn't confidence in a certain area of your life, and spirit is saying we're going to show you exactly where that confidence needs to be and where you need to hone in on that. Which cards do I go to, please? Show me that again. Thank you. What other messages do you have for Rhonda, please, in love, romance? Am I supposed to take both of these cards? Which card goes first? Okay, there's something that is coming back to you, something that you're retrieving, something that maybe you had lost at one time, or maybe you was in this energy of not receiving and now you're moving into the energy of receiving. It may just be that you was at a standstill, because I'm kind of getting like this feeling of, standing still and not receiving that in which you've been promised. And this could be promises of a different home, a brighter future, more money, a promise of finances being changed. It may just be that there's something with you and your connection with spirit that has also been promised, and this is what is coming to you. Either way it goes, there's been some sort of rearranging of energy due to action that you're putting in. I feel like you've gotten back to the basics, or there's something with the basics that you've added to make them more powerful or more strong. Iris of the Rainbow, again, is talking about promises that are being kept, things that are being brought to you because of promises that have been given to you from the universe, from Source God, from your higher self. Maybe you have promised yourself something that now you are getting yourself back to, because there is this energy of returning something to you, getting back to its original state. There may be an energy of a way that you used to be, or a way that you used to do something that worked for you, but then you're like, oh, maybe it didn't work out so much. So you change that way, and now you're being directed back to the original way that it was, so that it can be back in its original state, whatever that means. Which cards do I go to, please? Show me that again. Thank you. What messages do you have for Rhonda, please, in love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Rhonda, in love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please. You do have the cardinal, which is a message from a messenger that somebody is trying to get your attention. This could be one of your spirit guides. This could be a deceased loved one. This could be one of your angels. It could be anything. But it is also a message letting you know that there's some sort of polarities that are off. There's something that just isn't in balance. It could be your physical and spiritual life, or your emotional and mental health. It could be multiple things. It could be all of the above. But there's something about bringing balance back to what needs balance, and it's necessary to bring them back now, because if not, you're going to be really out of balance, and something is not going to flow, whatever that something is. I think it has to do with things that are hidden from you at this time. And I feel like, however, you've been getting some sort of indicator as to what's coming. However, you don't know all the ins and outs of it, but this is just some sort of confirmation letting you know that, heads up, something is changing for you. However, you're a little bit unbalanced. So let's get you back into the right state of mind. Maybe decluttering your home and your thoughts is going to help you to get back to that balanced state. But either way it goes, make sure that you're doing what you can to get yourself back into a state of balance. Yeah. So you do have the polar bear, which is a message all about standing up for what you believe in, standing up for yourself and your home. This is saying, don't let somebody dictate the changes that you make around your living situations, around your employment situations, and things of that sort. Instead, make the decisions for your own, not worrying about who you're taking with you or who you're leaving behind, or things of that sort, but instead, detach from any sort of outcome so that the right outcome can happen. I hope that makes sense to you. Let's get you a popsicle stick. You also got I am clairvoyant. So pay attention to the messages that are coming in from these deep internal knowings, the discernment of spirit, your intuition, any kind of visions that you're having of something to come. Pay attention to those things. They're definitely messages that are for you and meant for you to help you to move forward. I hope that you got something out of your reading, Rhonda. Much love to you. Thank you for being here and being of support. I hope that you have a great evening. I have Margaret, Jennifer, Maryam, and Sandra. If you're wanting a reading, please make sure to put your name into the comments. If you're paying for a paid reading, make sure that you're making that payment and then coming back and tell me how many cards that you paid for, and we'll get you put on the list. All right, guys. Moving on to Margaret, Jennifer, Mary, and Sandra. Hi, Stacy. Your reading was the very first reading. So if you want to go all the way to the very beginning, you'll find that it's at about 9 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, something of that sort. But I run ahead and did your reading first. So definitely go back and check that. Thank you for being here. Okay, moving on to Margaret. This is going to be for you, hun. Which cards do I start out with for Margaret, please? Show me that again. Is it the animal cards or these cards? Okay, thank you. Okay, Margaret, this is for you, hun. Dorothy, is that you? Oh my God, yikes. I can't remember who the heck you are. Forgive me, but if you're wanting a reading, give me your name because I am out of touch. It's been a while since I've gone live and seen your guys' names on here with your screen names. So please let me know. Oh, it's Margaret. Okay. Margaret, this one's yours, honey. All right. What messages do you have for Margaret, please, in love? Thank you. Am I supposed to continue with these cards? Yes or no? What other messages do you have for Margaret, please, in love? Thank you. Okay, so the first message that comes out is the manatee. This is all about accepting something as it is for now. There isn't going to be much changes. There is no need to fight to change the way that whatever the situation is, but just go with the flow with it. There is a message from the tortoise too that's telling me that there may be something that's kind of fragmented in your mind. Maybe you're seeing something in a different view than what it needs to be. However, I feel like this is a message asking you to like bring your mind into some sort of state of clarity, not focusing on what could be or what could have been or what can be in the future, but focusing on what's happening now and what you can do differently at this moment. It's also asking you to do whatever it takes to get yourself grounded, centered in this state of like not worrying, not focusing too much on any particular thing, but just being present is a very, very big message that's coming through, is remaining present, learning how to be present in this situation. I feel like whatever this situation is talking about, whether it be a romantic situation or what have you, it is telling you to just go with the flow at this time. Try to not force an outcome. Try to not change anything from how it is now, but just be present in it, whatever that means. If it's day by day, there's some sort of physical energy or some sort of communication, then it is. If there isn't, then it isn't. But being present in whatever it is or whatever it isn't is exactly what it's telling you at this time. What other messages do you have for Margaret, please, in love? Thank you. There's some sort of resistance here, and I feel like it's resistance on both parts. I feel like there is two people or two energies involved in this situation, and there's resistance that's coming from both ends. I feel like the resistance for you is to just be still and be patient and just see what plays out and what happens. The resistance for something else involved is that they don't know which direction is the right direction. So for now, there is no direction and there is no forward movement. I do feel like somebody, though, it may be both of you or both parties in this situation are tackling something head on and trying to just see where things may end up. It's almost like learning how to go with the flow and learning how to be present in the current time now is exactly what kind of lesson needs to be learned. But there is resistance in both areas. It could be resistance due to past connection, past involvement in some way, shape, or form. There's definitely a concern of how it may turn out or what may come of this situation. However, I do feel like concentration needs to be focused on self, and this is for you. And I feel like there's another party involved, whether this is your husband or boyfriend or somebody from your past, some sort of connection with just a friend relationship. It doesn't really matter. I do feel like this is referring to connection with somebody. However, I feel like somebody involved feels like there may be a lot of swords pointing at them. There may be some sort of decisions that need to be made, or maybe they may be feeling like there's this is the time to make a decision. But I really feel like Spirit is asking the focus to be on not what a decision needs to be made, but what needs to be done at this time, whether it means just being still or being patient or having trust, faith, and hope in a certain situation or whatever it may be. I do feel like it is a time of like networking and getting some projects together, or add some finishing touches to some sort of project, which is kind of like steering away from whatever this situation, connection, or relationship is, and moving you into a different directions. There needs to be a focus on something, but it isn't what you're focusing on. I am being told to get you an I Ching card, so let's see what it has to say. What other messages do you have for Margaret, please, in love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Margaret, in love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Margaret. Love, thank you. So you do have lasting, which is a message of something that comes together that will prove to be lasting. I'm even hearing the word effortless, but I feel like there's something that is trying to let you know, like, this isn't a mistake. Whatever this situation is that it's talking about up here at the top cards, it's not a mistake. It's something that was meant to happen. It was something that was meant to come into your life at this time. And it is something that is meant to last. It is something that is not a mistake. It's something that has, with consistency, with being creative, with going with the flow, with being present, with being silent and still when you're supposed to be silent and still, you will see that you'll bear fruits in some way, shape, or form. There will be something that ends up coming of this eventually. However, there is some sort of shock that comes along with this. There is some sort of displacement of energy. And I feel like this is because one or both the parties involved is trying to figure out where they belong, what kind of changes they need to make in their life, not just so that the situation can come together, but so that they can evolve as a human being or as a person, or an individual. Same thing with you. But there's something about a shock that comes from a fear, a doubt, an insecurity. And it's asking you to use retraining your ways of thinking and your thought process as a way of changing this around to being something that you don't fear, that you don't worry about or have doubts or insecurities about. I am feeling like reading the back of this card, so let me see what it has to say. Keeping tirelessly to your own path, whatever landscapes it travels through, it is not a mistake. What lasts bear fruits, not because you arrive at some final destination, but because through all of the changes, you persevere in your intent, always finding ways to make it real. What inspirations are you making real in your daily life? How can you continue on the same path even as you adapt and change? Who will you become by preserving or persevering in this? So, ask yourself those questions and see what it tells you. I'm going to go ahead and read this other card too. Shock stirs and shakes you up, spreading fear and hysteria. Suddenly, everyone is reacting to their own strong emotions and those of others. Hold on to what you most value and keep it safe through the upheaval. Never lose your connection with the creative power that remains constant and true through the storms. What must change and what will continue is the questions that you need to ask yourself. And I really just feel like there's some sort of situation, it may be with a relationship, but anyhow, there's some sort of situation where the changes that take place are not exactly what you expect or what you had wanted, or maybe the other person involved wanted, or what have you. But I feel like it's exactly what's needing to happen at this time. However, in the near future, I feel like that's going to even be shaken up again, and there's going to be even more changes. So let's see what other cards come out for you. Which messages do I need to go to now? Thank you. What other messages do you have for Margaret, please? There needs to be a focus on either business, something at the home, something that helps you to feel a little bit taller and wiser and more together. Almost like the focus needs to be on you and only you at this time. And everything else just needs to be go with the flow. This is a time of you really finding out what you need and want out of a situation. Also, asking for, praying and asking for the answers through your meditations to come to you in regards to this situation and how it needs to move. Also, I feel like you're going to get some sort of intuitive insight into why it's being shaken up, why it needs to be shaken up at this time, and what it's going to help you to see out of this situation. Do I continue with these cards? Yes or no? Which cards? What other messages do you have for Margaret, please? And love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please. From Margaret and love, romance, finance. If you guys are wanting a reading, please put your name into the comments. 2 cards are free, 4 for $7 or 9 for $20. If you're paying for a paid reading, make sure that you make that payment and come back and tell me how many cards you paid for so that I can make sure that you're getting the right amount of cards. Again, 2 cards are free, 4 for $7 or 9 for $20. The payment information is pinned in the comments over to the side here. Give me 2 more shuffles, please. 1 more. How many cards? Okay, there's definitely a pretty big change that's happening for you. Maybe it hasn't been felt quite just yet because I do feel like this is something that's to come. But there's some sort of change that helps you to see things exactly how they really, truly are. I do feel like there's something that you're going to let go of, release, turn over, give back to God, let go in some way, shape, or form. However, I don't feel like it's a let go forever. I feel like it's a for now type of situation. And I feel like it's just so that you and the other person or the other situation that is involved in this particular situation has time to change and work some more things out. It's almost like there's too much fragmented energy. There's too much that it just isn't stable in the way that they feel or that they know. And this could be you may not be stable in the way that you feel about something or way that you know, like these deep internal knowing. So there's something about releasing it, turning it over, turning it back over to God and just being in the flow, trusting and having faith that whatever is meant to happen will happen. And let's see what kind of popsicle stick. I am telepathic. This just lets me know that there is some sort of telepathic communication that is happening. If you're having dreams of a certain person or situation with a person and you're feeling like you know exactly what they're going to say when they come back or when they talk to you or whatever, then this is you getting some sort of insight into what they're really thinking. Anyhow, I hope that you got something out of your reading, Margaret. Much love to you. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Thank you for your support. Much love. Okay, guys, if you're wanting a reading, please put your name into the comments. 2 cards are free, 4 for $7 or 9 for $20. If you're making a payment for one of the paid readings, make sure that you're making that payment and then coming back and tell me how many cards that you paid for so that you're getting the right amount of cards. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you for clarifying that for me or letting me know. I appreciate that. It has been a really long time since I went live, guys. So, you know, of course, I was a little bit nervous before I started to go live, but I'm feeling like I'm getting back into the swing of things. I am going to start going live to do healings. I'm also going to have a podcast for people to come to and just talk about their spiritual journey and what they're going through and hopefully get some questions answered if they need them answered. So if you guys are interested in that, be watching for me to do that as well. Anyhow, I hope that you guys definitely keep coming back and watching what I have to offer here in the near future. I do have Jennifer, Mary Ann, and Sandra. Okay, Jennifer, this reading is going to be for you. Okay, which cards do I go to for Jennifer, please? Which cards do I go to for Jennifer, please? Thank you. Okay, Jennifer, this is for you, hon. What messages do you have for Jennifer, please, in love? Thank you. There's something that you're not seeing clearly, but once you take the blinders off, you know, once you take away the negative thoughts or, you know, the way that you see something and release this back to, you know, your higher power and turn it over, you will see that you actually have the upper hand in a situation, that peace and harmony are something that can be yours. I don't know exactly what the situation is, but whatever it is, you're not seeing it completely clearly. And I think it's because of lack of positive thoughts about it. Whatever it is. Let's see what else comes out here. Yeah, it has something to do with the past, something that maybe you are thinking about revisiting. Because I do get this energy of like revisiting something or taking a look at something from the past and maybe going back to it. It could have something to do with love, or it could also have something to do with putting yourself out there in some way, shape, or form. But just know that this is a time of like reassessing a situation, reassessing something that you're wanting to go back to. Pray and meditate and get clear, precise indicators as to which direction to move before you move. And it's really asking you to sit in prayer and meditation about this situation, because again, you have some sort of blinders on that is not really letting you clearly see the situation at hand. So just make sure that you are taking the time to assess the situation and or pray and meditate about it. I do know that this is something that you want to have an upper hand in. Anyhow, you got the throat chakra. It is responsible for communication, expression of thoughts, feelings, and ideas. Your social skills are improving. I will share my truth. So make sure that you're doing that. I hope that you got something out of your reading, hun. Much love to you. Thank you for being here and being of support. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Okay, Miriam, this is going to be for you. Which cards do I go to for Miriam, please? Which cards do I go to for Miriam, please? Thank you. What messages do you have? You're very welcome, Jennifer. What messages do you have for Miriam, please? In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Miriam. What messages? Thank you. There's something that the angels are asking you to start engaging them in, some sort of situation, an event, something that you've been needing to pay attention to, that the angels are able to help you in this situation. However, for whatever reason, you haven't asked them for help in it. It could have something to do with some situation in your life that involves other people or at least one other person. It also involves something that has to do with moving forward in some sort of career choice or some sort of career change. So both of these things could be something that's going on in your life at this time. The angels are saying, if you're not asking for help in this situation, if you're not asking us to guide you in this situation, then we're kind of just sitting there feeling unemployed, feeling like, we have the right information to tell you, but we can't give it to you until you ask for it. So please ask the angels to help guide you in these situations, whatever it may be, whether it be for romance, finance, becoming an entrepreneur, it doesn't really matter. But make sure that you're doing so. What other messages do you have, please, for Miriam in love, romance, finance, ascension messages? Am I supposed to take this? I heard yes and one other. So sometimes I'll be told to take one more card for people, and I do that. So let's see what comes out for you. So there's definitely some healing that's happening on a very deep level for you at this time. It could involve emotional healing. It could be something that has to do with another situation that's happening in your life, revolving around a person or multiple people. This emotional healing has taken you into a deep form of healing to where you really see where you belong and where you don't belong. And I feel like this is meaning in relationships. And again, this could be more than one relationship. However, there's also something that has taken you into a deeper healing connection with the physical body as well as your energetic body. So you may feel lethargic, tired, getting nauseous at times, maybe even having dizzy spells. These are all things that could be happening, but these are happening for a good reason. You're being amped up, so to speak. You're going to the next level in your emotional journey as well as your physical journey when it comes to healing the physical body and the energetic body. One of the things that you may see that is happening is that spirit is kind of leading you in directions of how to heal your body differently than what you already do. So you may be felt led to more creative endeavors, or you may just feel led to listen to music or connection with crystals or going out and sun gazing. And this is multiple ways in which spirit is leading you to heal your body, but there's definitely a lot of changes that are happening. Codes are being given to you by going out and spending time in nature, maybe even seeing repeated numbers or codes that are awakening you into something even more powerful in your spiritual journey. I am clairvoyant. So you too are having some sort of premonitions or visions of something that is to come. You may even be seeing things that have happened in your past, in the present, and in the future, and is bringing something into the light, helping you to see something clearly. And I'm hearing yes, yes, yes. I hope that you got something out of your reading, Mary. Much love to you. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Okay, guys, if you're wanting a reading, I still have time for plenty of readings. I've got Sandra left on the list to do, but I still have room for plenty of free or paid readings. Again, 2 cards are free, 4 for $7 or 9 for $20. If you're wanting a free reading, make sure that you're putting your name down into the comments and let me know that you're wanting a free reading. If you're wanting a paid reading, go pay for the cards that you're going to pay for, and then come back and let me know how many cards you paid for, and then we will get your name on the list for those amount of cards. Again, I just have Sandra left on the list. I have plenty of room for free and paid readings. So I will give it just a few minutes after I do her reading if nobody comes on before I actually end this live. But hopefully more people will get involved and we'll see what happens. Anyway, moving on to Sandra. All right, Sandra, this message is going to be for you. Instantly, I was told to use these cards, so let's see what they have to say. What messages do you have for Sandra, please? In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self. You're very welcome, Mary. I hope that you have a wonderful evening, hon. I was told not to take those, so I'm not. What messages do you have for Sandra, please? What messages do you have for Sandra in love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please? Am I supposed to continue with these? Yes or no? Which cards do I go to? Thank you. Okay, so the first card that you have coming out is the Knight of Pentacles, which tells me that there's a message or a messenger coming to you with some sort of message. This could be somebody coming from out of town. It could just be that there's some sort of messages coming from spirit that are worth hearing at this time. I do feel like this is revolving around some sort of big change and involving your finances and career. And I'm hearing yes, yes, yes. So let's see what other messages that they have for you today, Sandra. What messages do you have for Sandra, please, in love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Sandra in love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Sandra in love, romance, finance, ascension messages. I'm just seeing where you said work, please. It's already coming out, so we'll see. What other messages do you have for Sandra, please? Give me 3 more shuffles, please. In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please. 2 more shuffles for Sandra. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 1 more shuffle. I was told to take the bottom, which is really funny because this card actually kept wanting to come out and I pushed it back in there. So it's definitely something that was wanting to come out. How many cards am I supposed to give her all this? 2 more. Okay, so the next card that came out is the 5 of Trees, which tells me that there's something that you're doing that is limiting you from becoming more successful. I do feel like it's someone or something that is holding you back. It may even be the way that you think about things, but I do feel like this is time for you to branch yourself out in some way, shape, or form, getting the word across that you are in business. You're in business for this, this, and that. These are your prices. This is where you do it, whatever it may be. This could be on social media. This could be you taking pull tabs with your name and phone number around to different grocery stores and putting, some sort of post-it up there so that people can get your information. It could just be that you make videos and go live and do things of this sort like I'm doing so that you can get your name out there. But something that you're doing at this current time is not beneficial to your growth, and it is not going to help you. I do feel like you need to reflect a little bit more and pray and meditate about what your next steps are. At first, you're not going to feel like you have much indicator as which direction to go. However, I feel like the more that you surrender to not knowing what your next steps are, the more that you're going to feel like you know what your next steps are. It's almost like the more that you let go, the more information that you receive. You do have the 10 of Angels, which tells me there's an ending and conclusion coming to one part of your life, a cycle or something of that sort, especially when it comes to your career path. There's something that is ending, and there's also something that is beginning. Because you surrendered over to the will of your higher power or God, the universe, whatever it may be. You let go and let God. You're telling the universe, you're telling your angels and God, hey, I don't have all the answers. I don't know exactly what my next steps are, but I know that if I have faith, trust, and patience, that you're going to lead me in the right direction. So again, the more that you surrender, the more that you're going to get guidance on exactly what your next steps are. Let's see. Lovebug Blues. Hi there. What's your name, hun? And yes, you may ask a question. You will be next after Sandra. If you're paying for a reading, make sure that you're letting me know how many cards you paid for. If it's just a free reading, just give me your name, please. Okay. Which cards do I go to now for Sandra, please? Hi, Fran. Thank you for your question, hun. What other messages do you have, please, for Sandra? In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Sandra. In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please. So you are being asked to do some free work for people. This is the more time and energy that you do into putting some sort of free information out there or putting free services out there in some way, shape, or form, the more that you're going to get in return. I do feel like it's time for you to give of your services and energy to get something in return. This could be clientele, it could be tips, it could be some sort of form of money that's coming in from donations. It could just be that you're getting more services scheduled and it's bringing in more money so that you can be more fruitful in this area. But I do know that this is something that is, the more that you give to people, the more that you're going to get in return, the more that the angels are on your side and the more that the angels are helping you. So, just be real careful with who you give your services to, especially free services. Pray, meditate, and ask for confirmation on who and when or how. And I feel like you're going to get the direction exactly the way that you need to at that time. But definitely giving of free services in some way, shape, or form is exactly what it's asking for. Do I continue with these cards, yes or no? I heard yes and no. Do I continue with these cards? Thank you. What other messages do you have for Sandra, please? In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Sandra. In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit. Okay, so they're asking you to stay very hopeful when it comes to your career path and the changes that are going to be taking place. I do feel like the changes are going to be worth your while. However, I believe that it's something that you really need to not lose focus on. Go with the flow. Be present in the changes that are happening for you. Not these. Which cards again? Be present in the changes that are happening for you because they're happening to you for a good reason. There is some energies of letting go of something or someone or a part of something that has to do with a career path, but also being open to the changes that take place and the things that come in for you. New opportunities are abound is what I'm hearing. And I feel like these are kind of scary new beginnings, but they're things that they're asking you to be very open-minded to, open your arms to them and grab a hold of these opportunities as if they were always meant for you. I could have swore I seen a card flip over. I guess I did not. Okay. What other messages do you have for Sandra, please, in love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self? I do feel like there's a pretty big change that's coming, and it's going to be a speedy type of change, especially when it comes to connection with clientele. I feel like you may not feel like there's very much clientele coming in now, but I do feel like this change is going to happen. It's going to happen very rapidly. You're going to feel like there's more put on your plate than maybe what you're used to, or maybe it's more is being put on your plate than what was expected, something of that sort. But you've got two images of angels holding harps, and it just makes me feel like something is just going to flow and it's going to happen very easily, and it's not going to be something they're going to have to worry too much about. And I'm hearing yes, yes, yes. Working with the energy of crystals right now is going to be very beneficial, not just for your mindset, but I feel like for your physical energy. There's something about bringing it back to a state of like being clear, not having very much residual type of energy. So you may want to do some sort of clearing exercise or meditation involving crystals, especially clear quartz is what I'm hearing. I'm also hearing rose quartz or love quartz, because there's something to do with the love connection that is coming in for you. So rose quartz is going to help you to, situate into this love connection in the right way, almost like maybe there's some things that have been held back from you when it comes to this love connection. However, it's getting ready to start presenting itself to you in some way, shape, or form. Do I continue with these cards? What other messages do you have for Sandra, please, in love, romance, finance? Thank you. Okay, shielding yourself by putting a hedge of protection around you, some sort of cocoon of energy and light around you, protecting your energy from unwanted energies from other people, places, and things or situations. I do feel like there's this time of being very courageous and shielding yourself from the negative mindset of others that may be around you, whether this is somebody that you're leaving behind or a situation that you're leaving behind. There may be some sort of negative energy attached to it. Another reason for why you should clear your energy and get back to like a different state of being. Shielding yourself and reflecting energy off of you from people that may have some sort of doubtful type of energy, or even like the negative Nancy type of energy where they're saying things that are bringing you down. This could be family or friends, or people around you in your vicinity, but make sure that you're shielding yourself, asking that any energy that comes to you will bounce right off and go back right back to the person that it came from. Yes, yes, yes. Which messages do I go to? I was just keep feeling like there's a card that is turned over and it's meant for you, but every time I look, I'm not seeing it. So maybe I'm wrong. Let me just go back one more time and make sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't see it. Anyhow, let's see what other messages come out for you. Which cards do I go to, please? Thank you. What other messages do you have for Sandra, please, in love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please, for Sandra? So this is the Singer of Transfiguration, which means that there's a lot of things that are happening in your life where they're coming into order. Things are being moved around, and it may make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. It may even feel like there's quite big transition that's happening, but these things are moving around and being put in place in the correct way so that you can have exactly what you desire. If it doesn't feel like it's something that you desire at this time, it's because it's not completely transpired or been conformed into the way that it needs to be. You do have the number 11 card, which means there's some sort of spiritual transformation that's happening at this time. There's also a message of twin flames. So this romantic encounter that you have may be with a soulmate or even with a twin flame. But either way, there is some sort of romantic encounter about to happen. Things are being rearranged at this time in your life for something to happen. You do have solar plexus chakra, which governs personality, ego, and identity, as well as freedom, choice, and authenticity. This is a time of you stepping into your personal power. I hope that you got something out of your reading, Sandra. Much love to you. Thank you for being here and being of support. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. All right, Love Bug, or I'm sorry, Fran, thank you for being here. I don't know if I've ever done a reading for you, but thank you for being here. This message is going to be for you. Let's see what they have for you regarding love situation. Which cards do I go to for Fran, please? Which cards do I go to for Fran, please? Show me which cards to go to for Fran, please. Oh, should have seen it. All right, Fran, let's see what messages need to come out for you involving love. What is coming in for love for Fran, please? I do feel like this card is wanting to be heard. So there's some things that you may need to release at this time that are going to bring you into a closer connection with some sort of love contact. I do feel like this is asking you what kind of energies are holding you back right now in your life from having a healthy relationship, whether it be in with a romantic relationship or in relationships in general. Is there something that you need to let go of, something from the past that you need to release? This is the time to release that, and it's saying perfect timing to release that. So there's something definitely coming in from the past that may have to do with a past relationship. It may even be that somebody from your past is coming back, because I do get this feeling of like a returning type of energy. This returning type of energy could have been something that you didn't really think could ever come back, or maybe you didn't see as something that you wanted back. However, I do believe like this energy is coming back and coming back strong. There is a message of believing in things that you feel like are impossible becoming possible. If there's situations in any kind of relationship or a love relationship with you where it just feels like you're never going to get past something, moving forward isn't really the right answer or what have you, just know that there is going to be some sort of changes, and there are drastic changes that are going to happen that are going to help you to be more in alignment for the right type of person, the right kind of love, the right kind of relationships, not just relationship romantically, but this is talking about relationships in general. There's something that you do, though, need to surrender to the divine. This could be your ways of thinking, some sort of situation or trauma from the past that needs to be healed and let go of at this time. Whatever it is, I do know that there's an energy of something that is coming full circle, something that is coming back around, something that is going to be revisited. And I do feel like this is a relationship from the past. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic. However, it could be. But in this situation, this reading for you is talking about both romantic and regular relationships. So it seems like this is a time when all relationships in your life are going to need to be looked at, and you're going to need to just really figure out what kind of changes need to be taken and put into place at this time, whether it be positive changes for yourself, or maybe you're, learning to see your assets and attributes that you have to bring into relationships, and finding out what things are like character defects or aspects of yourself that aren't so positive that you can rid of and change at this time, so that you can be in a healthier relationship, not just with other people, but with yourself as well. You do have 2 full moons here, which tells me that, again, something is coming full circle. There's something that is ending, but it also tells me that where there's an ending, there's also a new beginning. So there's something that is changing and evolving at this time, that as you release what needs to be released and let go of what needs to be let go of, you're going to see that things come full circle, and you'll be in more alignment with something in which you desire instead of don't desire. And what I mean by that is, I feel like there's some sort of indicator as to what kind of relationships you want and don't want, the type of person that you want to be in relationships and don't want to be, and what you expect from people and don't expect, and blah, 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 blah. So there's a lot of things that are happening at this time that are preparing you for relationships that are healthy. Is there a time frame for the X? I'm not hearing any kind of time frame. However, as I'm asking for that, I do see the number 3. I don't know if that means 3 months, 3 years, 3 weeks, 3 days, or whatever it is, but there is a number 3 coming up, and it's flashing at me 2 different times. So it makes me feel like it's months. However, I'm unsure of that. There is the letter D keeps coming to me, and the name Dale also has came to me, but I don't know if Dale is a guide, if Dale is a person that maybe you was with in the past, or if that name means something to you. However, I am seeing the name Dale and the initial D. Again, though, this could be some sort of guide that's coming in for you or what have you. However, let's see what popsicle stick that you get. You have the crown chakra, which is spiritual connection and transformation, connects you to the divine, angels, source God, and your own divinity within. I hope that you got something out of your reading. Much love to you. Thank you for being here and being of support. I hope that you have a wonderful evening, hun. Very cool. Thank you for letting me know that you're interested in somebody named Doug. That definitely clarifies why I'm getting the letter D. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, I don't have anybody else on the list. If anybody's wanting a reading, please put your name into the comments for a free reading. If you're paying for a reading, make sure that you're putting your name into the comments along with how many cards you just paid for, and we'll get you put on the list. I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes just to see if anybody else is wanting put on the list. If not, then I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream. Yes, Jennifer. If you're asking if that's a question, the answer is yes. I am hearing yes. A lot of people are getting super tired from energy right now. It's due to, there's a couple things going on. First of all, we just went through a full moon eclipse, which means that there's a lot of things that are ending and new cycles that are beginning. For a lot of us, though, the energy is feeling like it's weighing us down, but at the same time, there's this energy of like you can feel something that's trying to escape or something that's trying to move forward in some way, shape, or form. And this is just the energy of the new cycle that you're moving into. Completely new energy you'll be feeling pretty soon. Give it another couple weeks and you won't feel as tired. But the energy of the eclipse full moon is going to be felt for quite some time. It could even last up to 6 months to a year. However, not the symptoms. You're not going to have all of those symptoms at once. You may go back and forth with the tiredness or, feeling lack of energy or even a lot of energy. 11111, guys, look that up on Sacred Scribes. But anyhow, yes, there's definitely some crazy energy happening right now. A lot of us are feeling that. If not all of us are feeling that in some way, shape, or form. No problem, Jennifer. If you're wanting a reading, please put your name in to the comments. Let me know that you're wanting a reading. If you're paying for a paid reading, make sure that you're paying for that reading and then coming back and tell me how many cards that you paid for. I was expecting a little more people to come here today, but I guess maybe because it's been a long time since I went live on YouTube. So I don't know, maybe even about a year and a half, 2 years since I went live on YouTube. The last place I went live was on Facebook, and it's even been a while since I've done that. So um, hopefully I'm going to try to go live every day, whether it's to do readings, healing, or just have question and answer for people to talk about their spiritual journey or what have you. But I do plan on doing that, so if you guys want to participate in those things, make sure that you're looking me up. I do plan on being more involved on YouTube than I do any of the other social media platforms. It's just my favorite platform, so definitely look for me here. However, I'll probably be using TikTok as well. If you're not yet connected with me on TikTok, make sure that you're looking for me. It is Unique Me 303 Healing. Copper's over here being super patient, waiting on me to get done. I know he's wanting to play in his POOL. I'm spelling it because he definitely knows what that word is. Okay, guys. You too, Jennifer. All right, guys. If nobody else is wanting a reading tonight, I'm going to go ahead and end this live feed. I will be seeing you guys sometime, probably Sunday. I am going to have my granddaughter tomorrow. So I may go live during the day, though, do some readings. We'll see how it goes, but not 100% sure yet. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this live feed since nobody else is getting on. I hope that you guys have a wonderful evening. Much love to you.